not getting enough qualified leads, and you're starting to wonder if your community is even interested. In this video, you'll learn a simple, repeatable system to bring in 3 new patients in just 30 days without running paid ads or overhauling your website. And make sure to stick around because I'll walk you through the exact message I've used to book consults from a cold audience in less than 48 hours. I'm Dr. Zac Watkins, and after working with hundreds of functional medicine providers, I've helped them build momentum, consistent revenue, starting with low-tech, high-trust lead gen strategies that actually work.
This is a part of the series that we're doing where we're kind of walking through some of these important topics as it relates to functional medicine, getting started in your business, implementing different factors. I'm Dr. Zac Watkins, if we haven't met yet, and I own and operated a pretty large clinic for about 20 years. Well, no, about 18 years. And went through multiple studies, functional medicine, nutrition, things like that. So I have a lot of experience. Over time, my passion kind of grew, and God was leading me to coaching and helping other providers in this space because I just saw a need of providers getting a lot of knowledge and education. But then at the same time, how do I implement it? What do I do next? And I was fortunate to work with a very reputable lab company in the country. And same kind of thing. We get lots of clients that would sign up, doctors, providers, nutritionists, but would not use the services or lab work because I think a lot of it was they didn't know really how to implement the actual studies and kind of functional medicine knowledge they gained into their practice. Which was frustrating to me because I know that there's a lot of good, well-intentioned providers out there that just needed help. So that's kind of where it led me today is I coach with providers, I help them, I hand on hand grow their practices, implement systems and things that make them successful, free up time. We talk about life and kind of what makes us happy. Are we chasing the wrong things? Just really kind of supporting them the best that we can. And I have a marketing team that helps support me as well. Kind of whatever the provider needs. We're not a cookie cutter based operation. There's a lot of that out there, and my personality has never been one to do that. Just to kind of slap things on and kind of make a quick buck. Does it work? Probably. Could be. I've tried some stuff like that, and I think when you don't fully buy into what you're promoting to your patients into your practice, it makes it harder to really, I guess, if you want to say sell or encourage other patients, because now our objective is based off of revenue, based off of income, which I get. At the same time, if we're truly wanting to implement some functional medicine, nutrition practices in our business, there's good ways to do it. And I promote and teach the ways that I believe in, that my clients believe in. It's not right for everybody, but it is right for a lot. And so that's why we're here. Okay, so today, according to our calendar, we are talking about lead generation sprint, 3 clients in 30 days. And this is, an introduction. This is not guaranteeing you anything. This is just giving you some things I work with people on. You're getting kind of straight out of the playbook, but at the same time, I wanted to share with you to kind of say, hey, what's the overarching theme and what should I be thinking about if I want to get new clients and patients into my practice? Okay, so there's a lot here, and I got some slides to share with you, but here's what I would say. Don't be overwhelmed. I don't think don't let this cloud your judgment or thinking. This is just get you understanding, like, this is big picture where we want to go and what you want to think about as you're implementing things in your practice. If this is a lot for you, I always encourage you to get a team. Find a team that can help support you and implement some of these things. So with that, I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So here's what we're going to be looking at. 30-day lead generation sprint. Okay, so our goal is going to be Well, I'm still looking at 30 new clients in 30 days is the ultimate goal. It's not just to say we're going to do that. This is just kind of putting some context about what we can and are wanting to do. Um, and we're going to just give an example through our talking here. And it's going to be this middle-aged women struggling with digestive issues. This is not necessarily going to be theory. It's going to be more practical with action driven steps I want to see you achieve and think through. Write these down. If you need to watch this again, do that. If you need to pause it, go ahead and do that. But these are steps that I would think, hey, you got to kickstart something and start somewhere. Start thinking about these steps, and they're very probably uncomfortable. Usually, if it's uncomfortable, it means you're doing the right thing. But trust me, we got to just start doing something. I talked to way too many providers that they want to get going, but then it's like there's so many ideas and things they want to do. They don't know where to go next, what to do. I'm like, just do something. But let's give you some actionable steps so we can kick in gear that we can start doing maybe daily or even weekly. Okay, all right. So here we go. Step one. We want to get back to defining the specific patient that you want to see. Okay, who are they? What do they struggle with? Where do they hang out? Like online? What are they doing? So for the case of our example, we wanted to say, okay, let's say I'm a provider. I'm thinking through who do I enjoy working with? Who's maybe my, like I said, my ideal that I enjoy. I use the example, middle-aged women. I have notes, so I apologize for looking back and forth. Middle-aged woman, experiencing chronic digestive discomfort, such as bloating, acid reflux, constipation. And they have tried all the conventional treatments that are out there, and they haven't found anything that works. So they're looking for lasting relief. Okay, that's our ideal kind of patient we're going to talk about through this exercise today. So what I want you to do, and the importance of this is so you're attracting the right people to your business. It doesn't mean you won't attract other people, or you're only going to see one kind of type of patient. But anymore, like I've said multiple times, we live in a lack of trust society. And it's getting harder and harder to attract patients to business. And even for, let's say, things I do, it's getting harder and harder because so many people are attracted to shiny objects. There's so much stuff up there, lots of options. So I think it's going to be important that you narrow down or talk specifically to one ideal person in your head, like you're having a one-on-one conversation, so that you gain trust, so they trust you more, and you gain that authority. Okay, so a step to start take. Again, this is very fast. This goes into deeper when we work through a program. And I want to give you some of the easy kind of meat off the bone kind of stuff. Okay, I want you to think about your ideal patient in 1 or 2 sentences. Okay. And again, it won't be perfect. Just get it out. Woman, 45 years old, chronic gut problems, no answers, wants to get to the root problem, the root cause. Just get it out. And then at least you know kind of who we're targeting. Okay, so I would start with that. Again, oops, let me repeat that. So the example again, just to reiterate for you, let's say I'm trying to do this exercise. My ideal patient is a 42-year-old woman. She's frustrated with bloating, gas, chronic constipation, or chronic indigestion, who's tried medications but hasn't found really a lasting solution. She's a busy professional and she feels overwhelmed with her health struggles. Now think about that, like being a professional. Maybe she's an attorney, maybe whatever kind of profession she's in. She's got a busy schedule. Maybe she got kids. Is she divorced? Is she married? Health is probably important to her, but she just doesn't know where to go yet. And I think with these kind of driven people, when they got so much to juggle and health becomes another problem, they just let it go. They want someone to tell them what to do and give them the right answers. Okay. So, excuse me, the motivation, when you get super clear on your ideal patient, to become a lot easier to target and connect with them in your marketing dialogue, when you're on the phone with them, you're going to kind of put yourself in their shoes. All right, step 2. So what's like a quick win offer you can give them? We call it an irresistible offer, which is like it's going to be key to attracting your ideal patient, but it's really addressing some of these pain points and you're overcoming some of their problems that they're really they're frustrated with. Okay. So I got some examples, again, through my notes. The offer doesn't have to be like, this is my whole program that I'm offering in the world here. It's just like, what's the next step that you can entice your ideal patient with? So the example I have written down on the side here, I didn't want to bore you with all the words, but like, let's say it's just a free consultation to discuss like the root causes of digestive discomfort to create a tailored plan for lasting relief. That's the offer. Okay. Notice there's no money involved. My offer for you, when I talk to you, my ideal person is to go through a free consultation to discuss maybe these root causes of the things you're experiencing so that you can look at relief long term and not just kind of band-aid the problem. Another idea is actually someone I'm working with right now developed a 7-day digestive reset. It's just a special offer to get people results right away. 7 days, jumping on board, helping with the gas, bloating, and discomfort to get them relief. Okay, so that's the quick offer. What's the quick initial thing that, okay, someone's interested in hearing more from you, and then you're starting to dialogue a little bit. I do the whole dating analogy. You're kind of having conversations. Now you're gonna start asking them out a little bit and say, hey, I got this thing for you. My next step with me for you is let's meet down the street for coffee. Or this is my next step is, let's offer a free consultation, a quick chat with you and I to hear more about what you're challenged with, because I really do think I can help you. Okay, that's it. Offer that. You're creating an easy yes, something that they don't have to really think hard about, but they really, really want. Okay, this should be something that feels immediate and tangible for them. Like, that's why I like consultation or a quick chat. This isn't like a time to sell anything, no scripts per se. Just be yourself. If you really believe that you can help them and you know what you can do, hear their story. Put yourself out there to listen and know that whatever they say, you could probably help with because you're educated, you've been through school, you have a lot of background knowledge. You don't have to know everything in the world. That's why we have resources in the back end to, you know where to go to find the answers. Okay, so give them the hope and the encouragement that they need to move forward. Okay, so the action for this step is, create like what would be your easy offer? Free consultation with you, maybe your chiropractor, and you're adjusting some patients, and they bring up a recent visit they had at a gastroenterologist, and they're frustrated, which a lot of them are. You could say, you know what? I've been studying more and learning more about nutritional implications and root causes of digestive dysfunction. I would love to chat with you more about this. Today we're a little full and busy, but I carve out time on Fridays to do a quick, 30-minute chat. I can call you, we can do a Zoom. I want to hear more about this because I really know I think I can help you. And I know you like to do things proactively. It's why you're here. And so let's dive into this more. Are you open to that? Just whatever your offer is, think about it, make it easy, and then we start going from there. Okay, so step 3, we're going to talk about providing value first. So what does that mean? It's giving your information and the data that you know that can help them first. It's telling them, so you're resonating with them. You're giving them tips and tricks and ideas that they can implement today to help them for free. You're giving away basically the goods. I really believe in that. Give away what you know can help people. I think a lot of people worried, well, if I give everything away, no one's going to buy anything from me. But that really is not true. It's going to actually gain more trust. And then, because a lot of times people are going to need more help with the details and they're going to want to go to the source with the details. So created value, they like you. Now they want to help you. They want to get some detailed help. So then they hire you. Okay. So this is where we talk about lead magnets in the marketing sense. Lead magnets are basically you're creating something for your ideal patient in your head that's free, that gives them some starting information right away. It's like we just met, or they're not sure they like you yet, or they trust you, they're skeptical or whatever it is, but you're going to give them some free information that helps them. So you're calling them out online or in your community. Out of 100 people, there may be like 20 that's like, yeah, I got this problem. So you're an expert at this, you do this. And then you're like, yeah, and here's this thing I made for you to start going through. Maybe see this will help you. I really think this can give you some value to start. Okay, so again, through my notes, I've always put you can do a checklist to download for free, like 5 quick fixes for digestive discomfort. What can you do to give them immediate action on common symptoms like gas and bloating? Maybe it's a simple acid uh, apple cider vinegar tonic that you create that helps them with their acid reflux. Maybe it's a 7-day keto reset diet that helps kind of calm their gut and inflammation down. These are simple things you can do that you probably already know and you may be doing yourself that other people literally don't know. I think that's another thing that people don't realize. Patients, I think we overestimate what patients, how am I saying this? That we think they know more than they think. Like we think they know it all. Why would we share this? This is dumb information. It's easy. Why would everybody do this? You'd be surprised that they don't know anything. They don't know what to do. They're relying on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram to just learn different tips and tricks, which they're not bad. But I think all of this noise confuses them. So you're trying to stand out as like, hey, there's good things out there, but let's follow a single path. Trust me, we'll get you to the next step. Okay. Another idea could be a free ebook, a guide. It's longer, but in today's age with having like contractors, AI, that you can put together that revolves around the topic at hand, that gives a few takeaway steps for your patient. Okay. And when you're putting that out there, let's say on your website, on your social media, keep in mind, this is a lot of stuff I'm saying, and this is the stuff our team actually helps do for you guys. Excuse me, but this is stuff you can do yourself as well. I'm just trying to give you tips and tricks of what could probably help. Okay, so you put this on your website, social media, business card if you want, whatever it is that they can download. The benefit of that is you're pulling them off the online ecosystem, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is. They're giving you their email address, which means now you own the email addresses. And that's valuable because who knows when Facebook shuts down? Who knows when YouTube does goofy things and shadow bans people? But you own the content and their contact info, right? So it doesn't matter what they do now. So the goal is to kind of get them in your ecosystem. And once you're in the ecosystem, you can start nurturing them and encouraging them and coaching them. Okay. So the ebook is another way, was the point of that. So something you can do to make a lead magnet is come up with the ideas. That's pretty simple. You can make a guide. You can make stuff nice and pretty, like in something like Canva. You can find someone to do it for you. Maybe your teenage kid knows how to use it. You can hire someone from your church. There's a lot of people that know stuff. It can be really inexpensive. You can do it yourself. It just takes more time. But the lead magnets, the stuff you're giving away for free, ideally is kind of more quick and actionable, not like here's a narrative of 80 pages. I think there's a place for that, but right now, if we give people quick wins, they're going to find more value and they can turn around to be patients faster. Okay, so an idea for you guys would be to think about a lead magnet idea, something that your ideal patient would like to learn to fix the problem. Maybe it's PCOS. What are maybe 5 tips you can give these women to support PCOS over the next 7 days?
Hey, real quick, if you're listening to this and thinking, I need some help building out something like this in my own practice, well, just scroll down and click the first link in the description. You can book a free strategy call with myself or my team, and we're going to take a look at what you are doing now, where you're stuck, and show you exactly how to build a customized care plan that works for both your patients and your business. All right, back to the video.
See, this is simple. It could be a low sugar diet. It could be cutting out certain carbs. It could be adding in some B12 and folate. Lots of ideas. It could be sleep and stress management. Because these women who have PCOS in this example, they are grabbing on anything. And the medical answers, I think, for PCOS is not great. It's kind of like, well, you're dealing with this thing. Here's some meds to kind of control your pain and whatnot. And we know that we have so much better options for them. So I really suggest like coming up with things that are really going to help them and put it together, get it out there. And they're going to, anything you can teach it. I mean, it's like you see these weird ads on YouTube about people mixing, sugar in their water and they're adding cinnamon. They're like, this is the quickest thing to lose weight. And people buy this stuff, because they're desperate. They want to know anything. I'm not saying you should lie about stuff, but the point is your patients, your ideal patients are needing information that you've got. Make it easy, make it quick, just get it out there. There's the concept of harvesting and sowing, and like a farmer, right? So when you sow, you don't go out and throw your seed in the ground and stand and wait for it to grow, and then you're like, well, this is not working. I'm all mad now. This is a waste of time. No, we don't do that. Because that'd be dumb. You plant the seeds, you water it, you nurture it, keep checking on it. You come back, maybe you cover it if it starts to grow a little bit. Then over time, it's going to blossom into something great. So it's kind of the same thing here in this economy, this trust economy. People have money. That's not the issue. I think it's just more of a trust issue. People don't know who to believe anymore. And so the more that we can sow and nurture and water, fertilize our crop, it will come back in the harvest. So that's my encouragement from this perspective. So keep that in mind. But think about something you can share with your ideal patient. Something simple. It could be, let's say you have a chiropractic practice and your main focus is pain, adjusting spines and stuff like that. You can tie this straight into that. You can, hey, 5 common myths or 3 underlying triggers of inflammation that are causing continual back pain. So you're tying it in, which then may mean, okay, what's the next step later, which we'll get to. Okay, so you're taking where you're at, patients you see, clients you see, merge it into what you're doing. So it's not like brand new to patients, and it's like, I come here for this thing, and now you're offering this other completely different crazy thing. You can merge them together. Okay, so figure out, I'll leave that up to you. Trust that you know that, because you can kind of think through what's right for you. As always, if there's questions, you can email them to me in the group, DM me, message me. You can do my email, Zac, Z-A-C, at drzacwatkins.com with any of these questions. And I'm happy to help and answer these for you. All right, step 4. So now we've identified an ideal patient. We are creating some good content around it about maybe something we can help them with right away. We are coming up with what's something I can tell these people. So it could be I'm offering a free call. I'm offering some conversation, some time to talk, whatever that is. So it's all identified. So now we're at the start of the conversations, and we're not really using this as calling it sales pitches. It's conversations. Okay, so there's power in direct outreach. So we're talking emails, direct messaging, even calls. You probably have if you're starting out, this is more difficult because it's cold. You're getting out there, you're creating content, you're talking to people. At the same time, if you have a practice and you have a patient, you have an audience, you can already start talking to people. You can reach out to patients that probably love you already, just like your families. This is what I'm doing, and start talking. When they come into your office or your IV center, have them fill out with you little information and start talking to them about it. Just start generating conversations. Okay. So like I put here, it's the connect, it's relating, and it's offering value to them. Okay. So the example, again, going off our woman example is, so hey, let's just use Sarah. Hey, Sarah's popular name. Hey, Sarah, I noticed you've been talking about digestive discomfort, and this may be online, this may be in a group, this may be wherever it may be. You've been posting that, and I just wanted to reach out and see if you'd be interested in just a complimentary 15-minute consultation. I actually specialize in helping women who struggled with bloating, gas, discomfort. And if you'd like, we can discuss how I can probably get you a simple plan, personalized plan for some relief. Does that interest you? Notice you're not saying buy my program. It's like, hey, I could probably put together a plan for you if this is of interest to you. The plan works. And I would go into it and just say, look, your patients are the heroes. Like they're the ones in charge. They're looking for help and support. do what you can to serve them. And you're just here to say, I'm here to offer some support. I can maybe put a plan together to support you. And if they say no, then that's fine because your plan is not right for them. Maybe it's right for someone else. Move on. So there's a lot of ways to go at it. You don't have to be nervous or scared. But personalization is going to be the big key here. Showing, so outreach does not have to be, like I said, the hard sell. You're just trying to really help people first. Give them the value. I have something to help you. If you had a cure for something that people were struggling with, you'd probably want to share it. And even if you did, let's say for real, had a cure all for some kind of cancer, and even if you reached out to people, I think you'd still get pushed back because again, that trust factor is they're not going to believe you. So just offer some time to connect. I'd love to connect with you. Virtual coffee. Let's talk about it, and let's see if I can help. I would literally tell people, I'm not here to sell you anything. I literally am called to help people with your specific condition. I don't know if I can, but I'd like to talk to you and learn more because if I can, I'm doing you a disservice if I'm not reaching you and helping you. Okay. And if I can't help you, I actually have some contacts in some places and I know enough to maybe I can send you someplace for some help. You're just being honest. Like, how can I help you get to the right answer that you need? Okay. That's the ultimate goal. Okay. All right. Consistency with this is going to be important. I'd start doing this. 10 conversations. Maybe start a week. Reach out. Start with maybe, I told people who have certain clinics, I've told doctors maybe start with your top, not that revenue is a gauge, but usually higher revenue patients is probably an indication of how much they come to see you, how much they trust you, because they've been there a while. It's going to be easier to talk to them and talk to them about that. I still communicate with patients of years past just because we built that rapport. Okay, so that could be a good place to start. Have your team maybe just reach out to other patients that they may know. Sometimes your team knows patients better than you do. Have them reach out and just say, hey, Dr. Zac he's been has a passion for gut health issues due to family or him personally, whatever. But he's actually trying to serve other people in this area. And so if this is something you'd be interested in, he'd love to just have a free consultation for you, just to hear more about what you're struggling with. And if it's not you, maybe you have a family member or someone that may benefit from just gaining some more clarity. Can we get you set up for something to chat through? So all you're doing is trying to help serve. And a lot of times people will refer to you, and I think that's the goal as well. Notice we're not collecting money anywhere. We're just offering to help, offering to pull them out of obscurity that they don't know us into our world and actually showing them things that we can do and offer them. Okay? Very simple. Step 5. Okay, we're going to turn the interest into action. Okay. So once we get them interested in us, they maybe get on a call. That's the goal of the call, the goal of kind of getting in front of them. You pulled them offline. They've downloaded your guide. We want to get them in front of us to talk. So we want to understand them. Understand, like, okay, tell me why you downloaded this. Tell me what you're looking for, what you're struggling with, and give them a chance to talk. They're going to probably be frustrated and say, well, I've tried these things, it's not healthy. And then you can educate. Now, I don't be like, that's wrong. They're idiots. Why did you do that? Just be like, yeah, these are everybody's usually out for everybody else's good intentions, especially medical, like all providers, not just medical providers, all providers. So it doesn't really mean anybody's wrong. Okay. There's a lot of bad things out there, I know, but I always educate, like, you know what, these are good intentions, those are good intentions, but sometimes we're missing the other side of the coin, which is what we do. I would like to invite to show you more, so you just kind of acknowledge where they're at, educate them on maybe more for you or about you or not, and then invite them for a next step. Okay, so you're focusing on serving. You're not really selling, because sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes people don't even know what they want. They may have gut issues, but they don't want to solve it. They just want a quick fix. Great, you know that. Send them to a primary care doc you like or somewhere else that you like, and that's it. But the more they talk, you may understand them better. You can give more chance to educate and then invite them to the next step that you have. Okay, so let's say the next step is, hey, let's schedule a 15-minute strategy call to discuss your issues even further. I'll try to really help you understand what's going on, give you a roadmap, to start feeling better and what to do next, those kind of things. So it's a structured call. Again, this kind of goes back into what we've already been previously talking about, but back up and just say the goal is to get interest out there online. It's to have conversations based off the specific patient you want to see. You're creating something of value. Okay. And the next step is for them to reach out, ask more questions, and then get them set up for maybe a more deeper conversation. So it's like slow dripping. Maybe they're open to conversation right away. That's great. It's not going to be kind of set in stone. If you get too robotic about it, I think it can interrupt your flow. But if someone was like, I saw you online, I like what you do, tell me how we do it, let's get on a call. We'll talk about it. Here's the steps. Here's what I think. What have you tried? What doesn't work? I think this is how we can help you. Here's what we do. Here's the next step. If it's not, then that's fine. Okay. So I would, if your staff, your team members are reaching out to your current patient base, or if you're reaching out to patient base, again, it could be a quick touch base. I used to do actually handwritten letters to our top patients because I couldn't handle everybody. But again, it could be a quick reach out. Maybe it is a call and they say, yes, I am interested in learning more. Great. Let's actually schedule a deeper conversation. Don't use that first reach out as a conversation. I think people are busy. You want to respect their time. So if you are calling initially, just say, look, I'm just here quick to see how you're doing. We're doing this thing. I want to invite you. I thought you'd be a good fit. Is that interesting to you? Yes. Okay, let's schedule a time to dive deeper. And I'm just going to find out more what you're dealing with and how we can help. Okay, so it's like you're really trying to date them slowly to get them to the next step. But take the lead magnet example. Let's say you put a lead magnet out there, a guide for the gut health stuff like we're talking about. They may download, you got their email address, you got their phone number maybe. Now it's a good time for you or your team members to reach out, or even a virtual assistant. There's lots of ways to do that. And they start having conversations. This way is harder, it's slower, because people don't usually like to email much or talk much. But once they're in your system, again, they're in your ecosystem. Ideally, you have a way to reach out to them, emails, conversation wise, and eventually they may get to know you as the expert, and then they'll want to take a next step after that. Okay. Again, this is a lot going on here. I talked to the providers who are over $1 million revenue clinics. This stuff is pretty, I get it. Let's do it, implement, we're done. There's other providers I talked to who are just, one woman, one man show. There's a lot going on, and this seems overwhelming. And I'm not here to overwhelm. I'm here to say that this is kind of how a system can work effectively, where you'll notice there's a lot of back-end work, which is why, my team and I, we work to do these things on the back end. We understand functional medicine. We understand marketing in a point to get you results. And that's the stuff we want to help providers with as well. Systems, processes, and then clinical analysis, like with labs and stuff. Okay, so again, I just wanted to revisit that to say this seems like a lot, but I want to show you that there's a lot of the back end stuff that you can start thinking about to maybe pique your interest and to learn more as you investigate what's the next right step for you in implementing these things into your clinic or your business. All right. So make an invitation. All right. The original way I wrote it was closing this. Salespeople would call it closing the deal. Close them, like get them to buy something. But that is the next step. So you're going to talk about to your patients, like you're going to overcome objections, like they're going to ask questions about commitment and how much time is this going to take, and do I trust you? Yes, cost is in there, and they'll probably say that first, but cost is usually a deflection point. Not like I said before, if you've heard this before, I know providers that charge, 30 grand for their programs, and they're very good because they get results. Um, and people pay it. I think a lot of it is just, do they trust them? Is this time, efficient? Can I get stuff done? Is it going to take 5 years? That am I interested? Is it going to take 30 days? A little more interested. So they're gonna ask that stuff, but this gives you time to answer those questions. So another example would be in my longer notes here is like, okay, patient, based off what we've discussed in our initial kind of get to know you period, is that it sounds like the best way forward is going to be starting our, let's say, 4-week reset plan. It's going to help you address the bloating, acid reflux, give you some lasting relief through personalized plan. So we want to get started, and then you enroll them into that. Okay. So that's what they call closing is they come into your system, you get to know them, who they are, they get to know you, you hear their problems. When you identify your problems, you know that these are things you can help solve. I got this problem. I can help with that. I've got this problem. I can help with that. And if they keep saying, yes, I get it. I'm interested more. Then you can say, all right, well, out of what I've heard from you and learned from you, the next step would be for you to join our 4-week program. And this is what it involves. It can be getting started with a stool test. It can be getting started with a diet plan. It doesn't matter. It's just you're trying to get people. This is the hard thing. I think a lot of, and I've been there. Trust me, I'm still there. It's hard because you put yourself out there and nobody responds to you with stuff, and you take it personally. And you wonder if you're doing anything that makes sense. Why is it so hard? Why can't just the fish jump in the boat? It's just, why do you have to go fishing? It gets difficult. I get it. But I think anymore, most marketing people would say you either bombard people with messaging and ads that just drive them crazy and they're confused and they just get hard sold on stuff, or you're developing relationships and you're gaining trust. That's the better way. Unfortunately, it takes the longer way, but you get more followers, you get more fans, referrals that way. So you're putting off the immediate cash influx per se to invest in the long term. So I just want to reiterate that. Okay. So when you start getting people into your ecosystem, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but once you get them in there, it's offering something for free, the consultation, the chat, the downloadable guide, the Zoom event that you're doing, whatever it is. And then from that, Zoom events are great too. You could offer clinic wellness day or something. We're gonna go over whatever the tips are for the hour, for the special condition. So if you have a clinic of 300 to 500 people in your system, shoot out a message about, we're going to do this live event with me. We're going to learn some things. We're going to have some fun, get some coffee. Okay, maybe you get 50 people that sign up. Great. You get maybe 20 people that show live. Start teaching, talking, walking through, engaging, having fun. At the end, have a call to action. Say, if we want to learn more, why don't you, here's my calendar, get on my calendar, let's chat more, because I know you have more questions. And then as they watch the replay, they get on your calendar, you start having conversations, see what they really need. If they're not a right fit for you, you can refer them to some place that could be, or give them quick tips that may be helpful. Or the other thing is say, this is how I can support you personally, right? So you built that trust and you got them into where you're at, and you can move forward. Okay. I hope that makes sense. So again, if we keep making steps, we want to make an offer. Okay, we got people who want to have conversation, discovery calls, whatever you want to call it. The offer would be like, what's the next step? What's the next? Is it initial lab work? Is it blood work? Is it maybe a stool test? Is it a finger poke test? Whatever is next to get them kind of paying you is probably the next thing. Always keep it simple, but we do like tracking. Again, this is not to overwhelm, but I have found the more you track whatever you can, the more data that makes sense comes to the surface. And you can be a smaller business, you can be a very busy business. Especially if you're busy, you got to know this starting now. If you're smaller, great time to start. Because I think you'll come to find out like how many people you talk to how many actually want to schedule a chat with you or your team, to then how many people want to take the next step, whatever that is. You start to get pictures and numbers and percentages, And now it's just about tweaking the percentages and numbers based off what's struggling. So I hope that makes sense. But this is stuff that we try to help providers follow as well. How many people divide your or download your lead magnet, your free guide? So from that, how many people are calling you? How many times do they open your emails? You can make this list kind of big, but at the end of the day, it's almost like how many people you talk to on the front side, emails, posts, how many people are signing up for your thing, and then how many people are actually you're talking to or selling to. And then you can understand what's working and what's not, what to double down on, what to back off on. And this, again, it does get tedious, but I think if you're the business owner and you want to be successful in business, it's really, really extremely important to track some of these things. I think if you don't, it's going to, you lose money fast, you don't know where it goes. And that's not a great place to be in because you don't know what's working and what's not working. And this is something that just to think about, it can be as simple as an Excel spreadsheet. It can be a checklist. It can be a whiteboard every week. You say, how many conversations did my front desk have with new patients? Stuff like that. Again, if you need help and feedback on what's trackable, what's helpful, message me, email me, and that's something we can help you with. Okay. As confusing as all this sounds, it's overwhelming. You can do this. It is a lot. I think in this day and age, this is stuff I personally had to learn the hard way. I've hired about 3 marketing agencies over the years and have spent a total of about a little over $500,000 creating websites and doing all the marketing whiz bang stuff. And they no offense, I'm not a fan of agencies because they make you sign on for like a year. Well, usually about 3 months in, you realize it's probably not the best decision and you can't get out of it. I've been close to being sued twice. So it's because you got to preserve your cash flow. Anyway, you get a lot of, this is just my, maybe it's bitterness, but you get a lot of like younger kids out of college. They're great. They're smart. They're fun. You go to their agency, they bring their pets to work every day and they have ping pong tables everywhere. It's a fun environment. They have happy hour every day. Great kids. They're fun. I go there. I present my clinic. I present who I was, our business, our goals, where we're going. And they loved it. Actually, they weren't used to that. And then they'd go back to their work and they would do the thing that they know well. They'd make fancy graphics. They'd make fancy websites. They would track all kinds of stuff from Google and Facebook and give you these, 20-page reports of data. But in the end, I wasn't getting any traction, no leads at all, like nothing. I'd get activity, but no action. And then I'd say, look, I need business. I need to talk to people. And they're like, well, we're doing what we can. We just have to, see what works and what doesn't. Basically, we're doing our job. That's all we can do. I've had some agencies say, well, we don't know how to track all that stuff. So what I came to learn the hard way after all that money was that the best thing that worked was just me communicating with my people from my face. No graphics, no like weird dances. Some of my best performing like posts and things online were like me, messy hair on a Saturday, showing people how to make bulletproof coffee. I look ridiculous, but people like it. Or making bone broth. That was a big one. It's just simple stuff. Or like what top 3 vitamins I like for perimenopausal women. So what I learned was people like you, they like your face and you teaching or talking. And that's what I'm saying now. Get yourself out there in a way that's personalized. Give them the information from your heart, how you know you can help them. Give it for free. Don't ask for anything in return. And just nurture conversations. And it may take a while, which is why I'm saying you got to start now. Because if it takes a while to speed up and to nurture, to send messages and to post a lot, there's a lot of work to be done. But I honestly think this is the way we have to do things now, or else we're going to be reliant on like quick fixes and these crazy dump on your patient programs like weight loss liquids and drops under your tongue and all kinds of stuff, which may be fine. I don't know. I'm not against that, but in my experience, it doesn't really fix anything. But you get paid, so I guess whatever your goals are. So we do things here the harder way, the longer way, the difficult way, because I feel it's right. And I buy into that. I promote it and I preach it. So that's kind of people I long to work for, who are willing to do the work, and to get your hands dirty, to be fulfilled by your practice again, not make it a drudge. Okay, so think about these things. This is an ongoing thing. Commit to maybe weekly learning more about what you can do to implement in your business and your practice right now. I gave you some steps. I think I'll have a check guide for you, checklist that you can kind of check off. Just think about something. Just know that you got to get your name out there. If you want to implement or grow some more nutrition and functional medicine, root cause medicine in your business, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to do big fancy programs. You can do simple finger sticks that gives them information about chronic disease, like cardiovascular, genetics, diet, stool testing, so many great things. But keep it simple, get started, take the next step. And if there's questions, make sure you post them in the group, message me directly. I'm happy to give you feedback. There's a lot here. I know, I get it. And in my experience, providers default and say, well, I'm going to go hire, I'm going to find some big agency to fix all this for me. And in my experience, it doesn't work. I'm working with someone now, for instance, very smart in marketing, doesn't know anything about nutrition and functional medicine. So when I start reviewing the back end stuff, it's just the wording's not right. And it's just be careful who you work with. And know what you want to get done, lay out expectations, and be the face, be the communicative person that gets out there to your patients, potential patients, and that's what's going to win them over. And you'll eventually start gaining trust and leads. Okay. Be the, you got to sow the seed before you get the harvest. Okay. Post when you need something. That's the end of that. I have a check sheet for you. But this was kind of a heavy topic. So I kind of apologize, but it's good. Based off our calendar, we got more coming up. I think next time we'll talk about some financial forecasting for the practice. And I have to change some of these dates because next week I will be at a business conference, and I'll let you guys know that too. But we're gonna keep going, and I hope this serves you. Keep it up, build value, serve with your heart. We'll talk later. Thank you.
Hey, before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. If you like this one, you're definitely going to like the next video. So click here on the screen, keep going, and I'll see you over there.